Hey, Commanders fans! Tune in because we've got some very important information coming, and you need to know everything. Here on the channel, you'll find all the latest news about our team, with breaking news and everything a true Commanders fan needs to know. So, first of all, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell, because here you'll receive everything firsthand and never be out of date. Oh, and leave your like right now to strengthen this incredible community and show that Commanders fans are always there. No more ado, hang in there because today's news is unmissable. Now let's get straight to the point.
Commanders suffer another devastating injury setback that changes everything. The Washington Commanders season has been a nightmare in terms of injuries, and if Dan Quinn thought he was done with the misery, he was sorely mistaken. Superstar quarterback Jaden Daniels' status is in doubt going forward after his Week 7 exit against the Dallas Cowboys with a hamstring injury. Nothing has been confirmed, but fans are anxiously awaiting developments, with their campaign hanging by a thread. That wasn't the only bad news coming out of AT&T Stadium, and I'm not talking about the team's complete capitulation to their most hated division rival. Commanders may be without Dorance Armstrong Jr. for an extended period. Dorance Armstrong Jr., the Commanders' most prolific defensive end, who is in the midst of a successful campaign, left the game after just a few snaps with a knee injury. He barely practiced all week due to a hamstring injury, so the gamble to activate him didn't pay off. NFL insider Josina Anderson painted a bleak picture of Armstrong's situation going forward. She revealed that the former Kansas City prospect is expected to be out for an extended period due to a knee complication. Considering the Commanders have already lost Dietrich Wise Jr. and Javonte Jean-Baptiste, this further weakens an already fragile unit. J.P. Finley of NBC Sports Washington confirmed Anderson's news. He also heard that Armstrong could be ruled out for the season, which would be a devastating blow to one of the team's brightest players in the early stages of the season. This was later confirmed by Quinn, who stated that Armstrong has a serious injury that will indeed end his season. The Commanders currently have only Jacob Martin, Von Miller, and Preston Smythe as legitimate top-end options. Drake Jackson was recently signed, but is on injured reserve. What the Commanders have up their sleeves after this latest blow remains to be seen, but it's yet another blow Quinn and general manager Adam Peters could have done without.
The Commanders have no choice but to overcome this $18 million problem. This is becoming an incomprehensible frustration. The Washington Commanders are dealing with several critical issues that prevent them from meeting expectations. Whether it's injuries, lack of execution, complacency, lack of discipline, or a combination of all of these, it's debatable. But that's not what head coach Dan Quinn and general manager Adam Peters had in mind entering their second season. There's plenty of blame to go around, and there's one player who's being criticized more than most. That, of course, is Marshon Lattimore. The Commanders have a tough decision to make with cornerback Marshon Lattimore struggling. The four-time Pro Bowl cornerback isn't the only one struggling to find the consistency he needs. However, the Commanders have made a big bet on Lattimore as an absolute caliber presence on the baseline. This blew up in their faces, and now Peters finds himself faced with a thankless decision. Lattimore has gone from one of the most talented cornerbacks in the league to a complete liability. Teams consider him a weak link. It's working. He's struggling to keep up with receivers. He's also a roving defender who disrupts the pass, and this isn't going unnoticed by opposing offenses as part of the Commanders' game plan. This is a terrible combination. Lattimore's most glaring flaws were evident during Washington's capitulation against the Dallas Cowboys. He may be a scapegoat compared to the larger collective problem. Still, this simply can't continue much longer. Peters attempted a comeback. He sensed the Commanders were in a position to fight and figured Lattimore would bring them closer. It was clearly a comeback and a mistake, so dismissing the sentiment and admitting defeat was something that needed to be considered. The Commanders could trade Lattimore, but it's unclear if any significant interest would emerge. The most likely scenario would be to let things play out for the rest of 2025, and if things don't improve, Washington could release him with $18.5 million in savings and no salary cap space next spring. Keeping Lattimore on the roster may be a necessary evil at this point. Trey Amos and Mike Sainristil are playing well, but options beyond that are slim. This should be the team's biggest strength, but it's been exposed as a weakness without any legitimate help from the safety unit. Lattimore needs a massive effort to turn things around. Quinn said roster changes are coming, so it will be a tense wait to see if Ohio State native falls victim to the inevitable and desirable changes ahead of Monday Night Football against the Kansas City Chiefs in Week 8.
Coaches issue important update on Jaden Daniels' hamstring injury. A sense of apprehension gripped Washington this Sunday, but the latest news about quarterback Jaden Daniels brings considerable relief. After limping off the field during the matchup against the Dallas Cowboys, Daniels underwent tests that indicated the hamstring injury is not as serious as initially feared. According to head coach Dan Quinn, an MRI performed shortly after the game revealed no significant structural damage. The medical staff confirmed the issue is not expected to be long-term, which is excellent news for fans and the Washington locker room. Still, Quinn was cautious, stating that the team has not yet made a final decision on Daniels' participation in the upcoming matchup, a high-profile matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday night. During the game against Dallas, the timing of the injury startled everyone. Daniels was hit by an off-balance tackle, which ultimately resulted in a fumble recovery by the Cowboys. Immediately after the play, the quarterback tried to get up but was visibly in pain, having to hop on one leg while receiving assistance from the training staff. Shortly afterward, he was taken to the sideline medical tent and then walked to the locker room tunnel, with the score at 27-15 for Dallas. The play occurred when Daniels, while trying to fool the defense with a pump fake, was hit by rookie linebacker Shamar James, who arrived just as the quarterback was pulling back his arm to throw the ball. After the game, Dan Quinn declined to elaborate on the severity of the problem until the test results were confirmed, but he made it clear that the player felt something strange in his hamstring even before the play in which he ended up falling. Even so, Daniels' competitive spirit was evident. He definitely wanted to come back, Quinn said, praising the quarterback's demeanor, who insisted on remaining active on the bench and expressed frustration at not being able to return to the game. It's worth noting that this isn't Daniels' first injury of the season. Earlier this year, the quarterback missed 2 games due to a left knee injury, during which time veteran Marcus Mariota took over the offensive reins. The Commanders split the games, winning one and losing the other. Against the Cowboys, Mariota returned to action as soon as Daniels left the field, completing 4 of 10 passes for 63 yards and throwing an interception. Although he demonstrated experience, the offense clearly lacked momentum without Daniels, who is known for his mobility and creativity in improvised plays. For now, the mood in Washington is cautious but optimistic. Everything indicates that Jaden Daniels has escaped anything more serious, and the focus now is on his recovery throughout the week.